The last diagnostic is the five levels of consciousness. I'll credit where it's due. The origin of these distinctions is Jonathan England in his book, If I Die Before I Wake. If you die before you die, then when you come to die, you won't need to die. This is an inscription, I think in Greece, quoted by the immortality key, talking about this, making a long scale argument that Jesus pervades psychedelics. I don't think it was very strong, but let's get into it. Level one is living from a pool of poison and pain called big and little t trauma, living in the past, depressed, hoping that your life conditions will equal your blueprint, but hopeless to make them so. Wanting your life to be different than it is, thinking it should be, thinking it's not good enough, thinking you're not good enough, looking for a magic pill. This is why it's so easy for the government to try to save you through stimulus packages and having you buy the lie that voting one way or the other will actually make a difference for you, because most people are so weak and stupid and powerless in their own perception that they're looking for a hero to save them. Who here has ever experienced someone who's a victim who entertains problems in your life in order to lure in empaths and heroes to rescue them so that they can feel better about themselves? I know those people. I've been those people. I've been with those people. Oh God. And they're not bad or wrong, but it's great to discern the dysfunction. Discerning is knowing what works or doesn't work given what you're committed to. Judgment is making them bad and wrong. And like, no, I'm not here to make them bad and wrong. I'm just here to protect, defend, honor, and support myself and my highest thriving and choice by seeing what's really going on. Right? So we all fall down to level one. Think of the last time you used porn and didn't want to, or engaged in a vice of some form or another. The last time you smoked a cigarette, knowing that it will kill you eventually, knowing that it's doing damage to your lungs or tissue or drinking, whatever it is, right? Who here's ever had a vice? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the experience of powerlessness where I can't be who I think I should be. But you know what gets you out of level one? Focusing on look who I wasn't and who I can't be and what I didn't do, is focusing on who you are and what you can do. So life isn't happening to you, it's happening by you. So when you choose, and what you're going to tell me is where you want to go and where you've been focused when it comes to these five levels. And then we'll distinguish who you are inside of these five levels and where you want to be, right? So level two is goal oriented. And be aware that each of these levels has something specific that's associated with it. Level one is health, right? If you think you're the bitch of your body because of some condition that's going on, well, then there is not a full win that has had you transcend this level. You can be dancing with and working on higher levels, but haven't mastered a lower level, right? You can be aware of higher levels, but not having fully embodied each level. It's like a RPG, a role-playing game, where you beat level one, you get a sword that enables you to fight the dragon in level two. You wear the dragon's skin in level two, that you beat, and then now in level three you can defeat the big freaking Godzilla monster, whatever, right? So it's a game. Life is actually a game, and here's how to win. Isn't that fun? I think it's cool as balls. So let's go to level two. The distance between level one and level two is I am choosing to be 100% responsible for my results in my life. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, if I'm 100% responsible, then it's happening by me. It ain't over till I win. If there's something that I can do to change it, then I'm going to take that action. I'm not going to stick my head up my ass and overcomplicate writing an email or talking to a bunch of women, right? I'm just going to do the thing. This is the activation of the healthy masculine. I will, and I can, and I do, and I choose, and I am, and I create, and I enjoy. Now, the problem with level two is most people are going to pursue goals from their blueprint. Remember, this comes from Tony Robbins, the idea that happiness is when your blueprint equals your life conditions. So if you're trying to make your life conditions equal your blueprint, you do have non-trivial relevant control over that. Like you have a say And if somebody says you don't, hit him in the face. Or let him go. Don't hit him in the face. Like let him go. Push him out of your reality. Let him go from your reality. Because until and unless you activate fully what's available for you inside of you, then you're always going to be looking outside of you. If you don't go within, you're going to go without. Both going without what you want and going without for support in getting what you want is different than A team, right? The A team is someone who's on the same path as you, has a goal, and you're working with them to go to that goal and to become whole. Now, the illusion and the delusion is that someday, maybe if I hustle and grind, I have to, got to, must push, fight, struggle, stress, strain. Someday I may get to play at the end of the rainbow, when I get to the carrot on the end of the stick, when I get to the end of the treadmill. But here's the thing, you never get to the end of the treadmill. The human mind and ego is stuck on what's actually literally called a hedonic treadmill in psychology. We are chasing more, better, different. So you might get trapped in the cul-de-sac of level two if you're not careful, because again, your desires weren't built largely, weren't built by you and weren't built for you. They're the result of a blueprint that was built by your preachers, teachers, family, friends, media, and government, not by you. So when you start to realize that, you start deconstructing the blueprint, you start burning your blueprint, and you end up in a choose your own way situation. So you go from disoriented to goal oriented to journey oriented, where you realize this is it and it is perfect and this is all there is. Breathe in, breathe out. You're no longer stuck in the past. No, you're no longer hoping for the future. You're just here right now, remembering to remain present, the present of the present, because existence is a gift. And anytime we make a goal, it leaves us with this experience of not being whole and reaching for something that we don't have. And it's okay to have things so long as things don't have you. If you can have your goal without it having you, if you can have your sex without it having you, if you can have your relationship without it having you, then you are truly rich. Be content with what you have and rejoice in the way things are. Realize that whatever you have makes you rich already. To paraphrase loosely the Tao Te Ching, that will make your life sing. That will make you bring bliss. You'll realize that you're whole, perfect, and complete. And anything else that you're trying to achieve is just a game that you're playing. And you don't need to win, but you can win a lot better if you see it as a game. And who here has ever watched a movie just to see the final scene? Probably no one, right? Some people, they read books, they just skip to the end. They're like, all right, great. That's like a non-0% of people. But it's not most people. Most people want to enjoy the journey. So level three is coming from the awareness that you get to enjoy the journey. You're here to do the journey. Life is empty and meaningless, and it's empty and meaningless that life is empty and meaningless. So you can create whatever possibility you want. Ideally, and it harm none, but in this now moment, like theoretically, you could be like Andre Gide's Le Moralist. Like, what is health for me? Just whatever maximizes my will to power, experience of creativity or joy, peace, and love. This is where you truly uncover peace, love, and joy as your birthright, because you burnt your blueprint and you get to have it in every moment, no matter what's going on. Happiness is an inside choice you can make for any reason and no reason at all, at any moment, from nothing. From nothing, who I am is the possibility of being infinite joy. I receive and I perceive the abundance that is, that always was, that always will be. Who I am. I am my perfect divine love and bliss made manifest now. Now, Who thinks level three would be great? Who thinks that'd be a great day? That'd be a great date. By the way, there's sex and relationship at each of these levels. Who's ever been in a level one relationship where you felt powerless? Maybe mommy and daddy. A level two relationship where I'm going to give and you're going to get, and then you're going to give and I'm going to get. And it's a horse trading, prostitution, transactional. Yeah. And then level three is like, hey, we're here. This is cool. There's nowhere to get to. But boy, is it fun to be with you. God bless. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for everything as it is. I got to be in this life. Happiness is an inside job and the cage is unlocked. All you have to do is throw open the door. But hey, maybe not everybody knows that. And if level three's highest expression, the highest choice of frame and context is that everything happens for a reason and all things work for good, and life is happening for you, then maybe you are part of life, and maybe you are part of what is meant to happen in life. And maybe you're not meant merely to jerk yourself off with joy or embalm yourself in euphoria or bury yourself in bliss or bastardize your highest potential with fucking chasing ass and taking names or whatever that is, right? There's certain people in the so-called conscious community that can go get into another cul-de-sac here where they're stuck, not realizing that you always are and always were the contribution and impact you had and have on other people. Your presence makes a difference. Your difference makes a difference. The fact that you exist and that you're here right now changes things in a non-trivial way. So the question then becomes, are you willing to own the impact that you're having and own the experience that you're leaving people with, the listening you're leaving people with, the impact you're having on them? At which point you might look around and say, all right, well, not everybody's awake to this happiness is an inside job thing. Maybe it's my job to wake them up partially, or to be a standing wave of transformation that conveys the energy of that out into the world, actively, consciously, verbally. What is it? There's a saying in Christianity, always preach the gospel, but only sometimes use words. I use words a lot. And this is the gospel, according to Lewis, by the way. That's what you've been getting all day in these different diagnostic procedures. Well, this is the gospel light. This is the gospel that everybody can hear. There's more of a gospel that not everybody can hear, and some people will get pissed off at. And I'm so excited to give you that too. That'll be fun because love confronts dysfunction and fear comforts in dysfunction. And I'm not here to put a pillow in your cage. I'm here to wake you up to whoever you're most meant to be at the highest level of possibility and to tell you what's available to you, including level four. Let's say you filled up on bliss and now you're in overflow. Your cup runneth over. The only place your love and grace and contribution can go is up and out. We're Taurus fields energetically. Anybody seen the movie Thrive? Right? We're meant to thrive. And in our thriving, we're meant to contribute. Consider the image of Indra's net. I love this image. This is going to change the whole quality of this thing. Indra's net is infinitely many spherical mirrors reflecting each other and reflecting the whole. Gosh, I wish there were a bigger picture of this, but you get it, right? You are a reflection of all things, and all things are impacting you, and you have the ability to impact in turn all things. This thing saved me from suicide in college. I was like, really? I'm that important? Wow. So let's get back in. And now I've kind of spoiled the show a little bit, but let's go. So you're not meant to be an isolated, alienated, atomic ego stuck in your head. Your ego is not your identity. Your ego is an instrument for the expression of love and possibility and contribution and service. And if you wake up to that, wake up as that, come from that, then more will be possible in your world. And you will have the will of heaven behind you. You look to serve your purpose and live your Dharma, not just survive life or get yours or I can't really contend against anybody at level three. I mean, you could be Eckhart Tolle living on park benches because you're in such bliss, or somebody in a monastery, an Eastern Orthodox or a Zen Buddhist monastery. I don't care. Experiencing samadhi, satori, kensho. Like you can hear it with S.N. Goenka in the free Vipassana 10-day silent retreats that I recommend everybody and their grandmother go on. That is, I did a game theoretic assessment of different mystical paths, and it's the one least likely to leave you crazy and dysfunctional, and the one most likely to produce results with the least amount of effort. Who would love to come with me, by the way? I'm planning on going later this year. It's probably around October. Okay, cool. So, long story short, we're meant to be a contribution to the world. And this means rebuilding your blueprints, which you burned back here, but for the sake of being used. Another great quote that I want to get out here, man, is Force of Nature, George Bernard Shaw quote. You've heard me quote it before. This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. Do you see part of the problem with lots of people living at level two and even level three? They're not including you and me. They're just including them. Now, you may discover as you travel and adventure through and stand in level two, three, four, that something you can't see the picture while you're inside of it, right? And the transition from level four to level five has been the hardest for me to do because it requires the complete sacrifice and killing off of the ego. You'll start to look as weird as one of our members here does when he follows his intuition and asks in and gets answers for where he's supposed to go that are like, what? Nonsensical to the world around him. So if you can't see the picture while you're inside of it, let us hypothesize to the degree that any of you have ever experienced synchronicity or serendipity or being able to engineer coincidence, to quote, uh, what was his name? He's like some big name Hindu writer, Indian writer. I don't know, but he would say the spontaneous creation of engineering of coincidence or synchronicity or serendipity. To the degree you've seen that, and to the degree you didn't plot, plan, organize, chess master, and make it happen with your little mini me brain, there must be something bigger, better, stronger, smarter than you, outside of you, that pre-existed you, that exists beyond you, that is not just you, that makes things go ways that go beyond what you can make things do. This I propose to you as infinite intelligence, accessible through intuition, surrender toable, and that when you do what it tells you, you'll get more of an impact and you'll get a better life that you won't have to let go of, that wasn't built just by your ego. And that, my friends, is level five. Soul oriented, where you learn to surrender to intuition and God and infinite intelligence and all the things, right? How do we get through these levels? Well, comment below and I'll support you up to and into and through them. But start seeing where you're at now. Diagnose where you're at now. Tell me what is going on for you now. What level feels most like the one you're working on and working through and mastering? Some of you may have never experienced bliss, peace, love, and joy as an experience, as something that is alive in you, that is real for you. Okay, well then let's get you there, because that's self-care. Instead of trying to get you out there serving the world, well, most people who are giving to get, not realizing it. Level four is where you get to give because you're full and there's nothing for you to do. There's nothing for you to achieve. Buddhism said, life is suffering. The cause of suffering is desire. And the solution to suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path, where you deny desire and you get a harness on it, you control it, you manage it. What if we could raise the satisfaction of desire to the highest degree and have you see that all that is all that needs to be, and nothing needs to be any more than it is? Okay, great. Well, then we can add value to the world and get more skilled in adding value to the world and surrender to a path that goes beyond what we can figure out on our own. So that is the 5 levels of consciousness. Thanks for listening. Diagnose below where you're at. I love you. I bless you. Have a beautiful, beautiful life. Godspeed, God send, God luck.